morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jason. That's Beacon. We are Internet Dads. Oh, it's Mrs. JJ from my morning kiss. My schnookums. Schmilly. Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to our continuing conversation. We meet here Monday through Friday, unless we don't. We talk about news and very important things. We solve a lot of problems. We're currently working on this TikTok thing, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. We will figure it out. We will come.
We're not going to let you down.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I still don't know where I'm at on that. I mean, really, I don't know.
Yeah, and I meant to. Last night I had a busy day.
Mm-hmm.
Last night when I finally got home at 8, and I was sitting in there in the floor with the cats, and I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, I need to send JJ a message to let him know that it's a little more heated on the show.
Yeah, I think so.
I really am. I mean,
well,
it's almost.
I'm a little
put on.
I'm the same way. I'm a little bit more advocating the dismissal of TikTok than I really. I mean, like, I don't really care.
I know you don't care, and to me, I'm like, I really don't care either. But the reason that I like the platform so much, there could be another one identical to it that's, and I would like it just as much. I like it because the algorithm really does bring up crap that I'm really interested in.
Right.
You know?
Okay. So
it brings up a lot of crap. There is some stuff on there that me and Ashley just hee-haw and laugh. And there is a girl on there that lives somewhere in rural America. And she obviously has been on or is still on methamphetamines. And she wears elegant dresses and she sings country songs a cappella. And
really?
She thinks she's good.
Yeah.
And all her comments are people telling her how awesome she is. And it is the we just have such intimate relationship moments between me and Ashley watching some of these people in real life on TikTok. It just makes, if you're ever feeling down and like my life sucks and, you know, I don't have this and don't have that, just go to TikTok and go to the live and just stream through and you'll be like, oh my God, that person doesn't have a nose or ears. Seriously, and I'm not trying to make a joke about that, but you see all these people that are doing these extraordinary things. One of the first people that I followed on TikTok was this brother and sister in Mexico that they were both blind. You can tell that they're blind. The girl plays a guitar and sings, and the boy sings her backup. And that's how they made money for their family, is through singing and playing on TikTok. And it would make them a little money, and something that they would have never been able to make money on like that. And they had hundreds of thousands of followers, this little blind boy and girl from Mexico. And I don't know what words they're singing in the songs. I don't speak Spanish fluently, but it was wonderful. And it's stuff like that I see on TikTok that I argue for. Because there is bad, but there's good and bad on the internet too.
I mean, you can do all that stuff on different platforms.
Right, and I'm not arguing that. It's just TikTok happened to be the one that was...
maybe the threshold to become a monetized broadcaster is higher on the other platforms.
Well, and I think so, because what I've seen is that there's a lot of creators on TikTok that are talking about they are currently in lawsuits with TikTok to try to get them to pay them the money that they're due and they're owed. You know,
I saw a video yesterday of this girl that was like a TikTok star, and she's like, "This platform's being taken away. Y'all understand? I have like I just bought a 2025 Mercedes. you know, like you bought it on credit? Of course you did, because you're
of course you bought it on credit because you thought you were making $100,000 a year making videos.
Yeah, and whoops, you're not. Back to Burger King."
That's the thing that kind of scares me, is because you've got a whole society of kids. I mean, even like your girls and kids their age, they're going to grow up with this being a very lucrative business job. We didn't have that. You couldn't say, I want to be an influencer. We wanted to be a basketball star, or baseball, you know, we wanted to do all that kind of crap. They want to do this. You know, I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. I look at all these kids that are like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're going to have a handful of them that are going to say, I want to be an influencer.
So I don't know, because the only time I ever go live, go live on, say, X. And like, I think X is a more influential platform. I have a go live, which you can kind of read there. I have a go live button, but I also pay for X Premium. But it's not expensive. It's like $80 for the year. So like, it's not like you can't open the door to broadcasting on other platforms and start doing that, but getting monetized and making money on it, that's a different story.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at. I don't know what the monetization of all the different platforms and stuff. I have no clue. I'm not even interested in learning what.
Let me tell you, having run rumble.com/internet dads for now, I think we're going on 3 years. I think here,
how much
also
money
on X
made?
and on YouTube.
$10.
No, it's negative.
Bucks?
It's definitely negative because I shelled out.
Yeah, we've shelled out money.
I paid a bunch of money out, and we've had zero return on investment.
And to be honest,
except for life-changing experiences, wouldn't you say? I would say so.
And being completely transparent and honest, the UMCOC podcast budget went to pay for the space to hold
hosting.
Hosting. And the little bit of money that we had left over, we got t-shirts made and stuff. And didn't we send somebody a game, the Contest of Champion board game or something?
I don't.
We tried to give the extra money that we had for that show. We tried to do prizes, and we got a couple of t-shirts printed for us and to give away.
T-shirts, some stickers I had printed up and sent to.
NYCC Comic Con. That's where they went. That's where they went.
So, all right.
Well, I can see, TikTok may have, but if you were to create a new platform to substitute for TikTok, you're going to have to give these people a chance to make money. And when I talk about these, I'm not talking about influencers. I'm not talking about these little blonde girls and these guys that look like they're chiseled out of stone. I'm talking about when I can go live right now. Let me just open TikTok and let me just hang on. Let me.
Hey, Brian, producer Brian's here. Deke, he's over on Rumble.
So here, this one's a live one. This is a guy playing this video game that I'm playing right now called Days Gone. And because I've been looking for it, it's coming up in my algorithm. So that's him. So here's a guy making a little extra money on TikTok. I've seen him every day. He works at a landfill. He pushes around garbage. He talks about it, and he has got currently 1,000 viewers watching him. All right.
Have you ever seen the guys? But
I got a lot of drummers that come up. There are a lot of musicians on TikTok that just play. And then they have people, and they make.
All right.
He might make $300 a month, but that's a car payment for sitting down, playing drums, and just setting up your. And that's what I mean. These are not these blonde-haired, $300,000 living mansion type people. These are normal people trying to make an extra. Right. I need to make an extra car payment. I can just go live on TikTok for a minute every day and do this. I think it's still.
I've seen on YouTube and some other channels. I've seen guys where they stream like driving a semi truck. There's one guy that I've seen, and like you would think like this isn't interesting, but then like, well, why am I watching it for 25 minutes?
I catch myself doing that. There are several musicians from Japan that I've came across and I follow, so the algorithm picks up, and that's what they do. They're sitting there in Japan somewhere playing that and they'll.
All right,
it's fascinating.
So one argument you could make is that TikTok legitimately has some sort of an algorithm that keys into your interests better than the competing platforms. Perhaps, maybe that's true. Or it might be that you've invested so much time on TikTok that you've kind of curated your feed.
And it could be that. It's probably more that.
Which it probably is. Which just means that whatever other platform you go to, if you spend a little, for instance, if you go to X right now, if you have never been to X and you go to X and you just go randomly follow people and then you look on the For You tab, it's going to be garbage trash because like it doesn't know what you like or whatever. And then if you selectively follow, like I'm interested in these people for political reasons, or I'm interested in these people for entertainment reasons, or these people for music reasons, or whatever, then your kind of curated experience starts to be more tailored for you. And I'm not saying it's better or even equivalent, because I don't use TikTok.
But you got to keep in mind that TikTok, if you did that for TikTok, it shares. This information is being shared between the apps in information some way, because
what do you mean?
You could do an experiment right now. Let's just start talking about WWE wrestling. Okay. Where is your phone?
My phone's right here.
Put it right in front of you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Don't turn it on. Just leave it right there. We're going to do an experiment here on the show, and you'll have to come back in subsequent shows tomorrow and next week to see if the experiment works. Now, I'm not going to do anything bad. This was a joke, and you can do bad stuff and ha ha.
Oh, you know, it can't hear you. It can't hear you because I have headphones in.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah. No, I want it to hear your voice, but I want you to repeat like some of the key words. Okay. So let's talk about WWE. That's the key word.
I want to know everything in the world about WWE wrestling. I want to know all about the McMahon on Netflix. I want to know all about it.
All right.
I am so curious. I am so personally curious about WWE
on Netflix. Say it.
I'm so personally curious about WWE on Netflix. My phone lit up. I don't know.
So let's talk about it just for a second. And did you ever watch wrestling?
When I was a kid, I watched wrestling quite a bit. Because it was on, it was on one of the syndicated network shows. And for those of you that are a little younger than us, when we were kids, we didn't have cable,
1,000
or internet, or
you had 3, 6, and 12, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and that was
literally had aluminum foil on the antenna to help it get.
I have had to get up to yes, I still do
antenna,
that.
What's an antenna? Of course, what's an antenna?
Of course, we're not going to explain that. So wrestling WWE has gone to Netflix. So you don't have Netflix, but it was a huge thing, WWE on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, it's a big deal.
Right? Yeah, so I've been watching WWE on Netflix.
And what do you think about WWE on Netflix, and how interesting is it?
I think it's going over really well. I know we're doing a little experiment here, and I think that's probably enough. That might be enough, but
probably enough.
We'll
see if I get any ads in the next day or so.
Yeah. To answer your question, though, Triple H has taken over, and they've changed kind of the direction of WWE wrestling. And they to me, they've embraced hey, we know that everyone knows this is kind of fake and set up storyline. So we're going to embrace that a little bit. Those guys still do those moves and stuff like that. Some of those moves are set up. The tombstone, pile driver, their head, he blocks their head, and that. But some of those acrobatic moves and stuff, it's very impressive. It's our little soap opera, and they've kind of embraced that a little bit. So the first 2 shows on Netflix have been actually pretty good. So the experiment, and what I was talking about with TikTok, is that I have looked up stuff because I've been watching this, and I've looked up stuff on WWE.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok's algorithm is really good, because if you get one video on WWE and you like it, you're going to get 6 more. And if you like those, you're going to get 6 more. And you like those, you're going to get 6 more. So right now, if I just go through, I'm going to come up with, because I think I was looking up why Hulk Hogan was booed, and it comes across all these videos on, this is why. He's a bastard. He's a piece of crap in that industry. So I was like, oh, I didn't know all this.
All right.
So that information is going to go from Google. Let's see if you get ads on Google. Let's see if you get your an ad on TikTok or Facebook. Let's see how the information gets shared between the apps from that right there.
This is the thing that, like, of all the information they may share, this is the most valuable information, and it may be what they don't share as much. Like they may if Google can capture what your interests are and can effectively deliver you ads, they're not sharing that part. They wouldn't share that part.
My oldest is 19, and I told her when she was in middle school, I said, Kendra, you need to learn algorithms, what they are, how to do them, and you will never have to work a day in your life.
Completely imaginary stuff. She's probably looking at you like,
when middle school, that was 10 years ago, almost a decade ago, I was telling her, you need to learn algorithms.
All right. ladies and gentlemen, if you are disastrously concerned about, hey, Dave, that's Dave, y'all. If you're disastrously concerned about TikTok, then and the potential loss of TikTok, allow me to soothe your fears, because our number one man is on this. Our number one man is gonna get in this, and he's gonna solve this problem for you.
Much. You talking about me?
It's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Oh.
Dave. It is
Oh, okay.
definitely not Dave. It's not
Okay.
Dave. Our number one man is going to solve this problem. Trump says that he will, quote, find a way to save TikTok. Trump's going to save TikTok for y'all. If you didn't love him enough already, you're about to love him even more. Trump will, say he didn't say that. Somebody else said Trump will find a way to save it. So President-elect Trump will take action to preserve TikTok upon taking office. In his incoming national security advisor, wow, I am messing this up. His incoming national security advisor said on Wednesday, with a deadline looming for the app's owner to sell or face a ban in the United States. So the shutdown is Sunday. The shutdown is Sunday, which is the 19th. President Trump assumes office on the 20th, which is the following Monday. So if he can just, if we can just hold it off for 24 hours and just like figure it out for 24 hours, Trump will come in and be like, "I'm out." Waltz appeared on a special.
That wasn't
a
bad Trump. It wasn't good.
Hold on, just wait. No, it's getting worse. Okay. If you can just hold off for like 24 hours, I'll fix it. Don't worry. It's going to be beautiful. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Trump's working on saving TikTok for you. Oh. Now you know who really, really probably loves Trump right now. And I mean, really, really loves Trump right now. It's this guy right here. God, why do you have a bunch of Trump Superman pictures?
Because I just told Grok to draw a picture of President Trump as Superman.
All right. Biden yesterday delivered a farewell address to America, and he opened his farewell address by taking credit for the hostage deal and ceasefire agreement between Israel and Palestine. He said, quote, "Today, after 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, the ceasefire and hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year." So Joe Biden just took credit for bringing peace not really bringing peace between Israel and Hamas, at least stopping the ceasefire long enough. Yeah, so he's taking credit. And to bolster this, to reinforce this message, the prime minister of Israel also had this to say on Twitter, or X, sorry. The prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, spoke this evening with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and thanked him for his service in advancing the release of the hostages. This is the first or the most recent post by the prime minister of Israel on X, and I don't see Joe Biden's name anywhere on here. So Joe Biden's taking credit. Come on now with the Superman.
You're going to lose your moderation privileges.
Yeah. All right. So the prime minister of Israel is thanking Donald Trump, whereas Joe Biden is thanking himself for doing such a good job.
Well, when one of the reporters ask if who would history remember as doing this, Biden gave one of his little, he kind of gave me one of his little, who is going to remember that?
I can't believe he took a question. Did Joe Biden actually take a question from a reporter? Yeah, that guy's asleep. All right.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't like President Trump as Superman. You didn't like
there was too many.
There was too many.
Yeah. Just one would have done it.
Really, it should have been a little more subtle with just like him peeling his shirt back a little bit. Or maybe just see it under the collar.
These aren't very good, but I was trying to make a joke in the meantime. These aren't very good, but
yeah, that doesn't work.
Oh wow! Oh, that is awful.
Yeah,
Trump
that
was
was
You
Batman.
can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
that
not
one
good.
is.
So I actually used Grok as well, sir, to
Oh, hey, go.
Hey,
here's
Yeah.
what
here's
just happened to
no
me?
no bring it back.
Whoa,
These are
what's going
the
on with my-
prototype. What's wrong? Why is Dave?
I don't
gone?
know why my
These are the
screens went
these are
over
the
now.
prototype images for today's show card. To have Joe Biden in the background, just confused, and let's see, we got Trump and hey man, so and look, that one's pretty good.
That one is good.
It's just that the
There's something weird with the
fingers
hands.
are weird. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Anytime AI draws hands, they just look weird. And I don't know what you can do about that.
Fix
All
this.
right. Let's see. What else do we have? Hey, a little update on California. As you guys know, there's been a lot of fires in California, and that's very disastrous, very bad. It's not funny. It's in fact some people that I think we like have had suffered tremendous losses, as well as a bunch, like 80% of the people that have lost their homes are like they voted for the administration that did this, and it's very clearly a lack of leadership and skill and competency in the government that has led to not having water in their fire hydrants to put out fires, and also cutting the budget, and also maybe hiring not hiring enough firefighter personnel and so forth in a place that is legendarily catches fire like all the time. So it seems like are we doing a California wildfire story like every single year, like routinely?
I have been in radio for 30 years, and yes, that is a very consistent story that comes around every
Oh my
single
God.
year.
We didn't see it coming. California is on fire.
And if you would have paid attention, if the public would have paid attention in biology class instead of drawing pictures and who won the basketball game, you would understand that Mother Nature does this to reinvigorate herself. But the problem is you've taken away Mother Nature and you've built a bunch of houses on Mother Nature.
Right.
So
in particular, apparently there was an enormous lake in California. When I say enormous, largest lake west of the Mississippi.
A lot of
oranges and avocados.
A lot of old maps that have the United States have California as a separate island because of that body of water was so big. Look at some of these old maps, the 1500s and stuff like that. They have California as a body of water.
I just wanted to I wanted to bring this up. The hits, they do not stop coming. Not only is there, a massive fire that they're dealing with, but a long stretch of Laguna Beach is now probably not where you want to go to hang out on the beach right now. Deke's got something to say about this. Long stretch of Laguna Beach is closed after 465,000 gallons of sewage spilled and washed up on the beach. So there's people poo all over the beach there. Let's thank you, LA Times. The coastal waters of off Laguna Beach between Treasure Island and Table Rock at Aliso Beach have been closed due to a sewage spill. It's due to a break in a main sewer line near the Laguna Niguel Regional Park, the Orange County Regional Healthcare Agency, and the Environmental Health Services said. An undetermined portion of that sewage seeped into nearby beaches. Although the sewer line breach has since been patched, area beaches remain closed to activities that include swimming, surfing, and diving, and the waters will remain closed until conditions improve. Less poo. You got to have less poo in the ocean before you can get back in there. Well, doesn't that stink?
Ching.
Oh,
much.
Oh.
All right. I didn't have anything this morning.
Did we have any more? Hold on. Did I have any more in here? Let's see. We got the yes. The US is intending to ban one more thing, not just TikTok. Deke.
Great.
The United States of America, the Biden administration has just finalized rules banning Chinese and Russian cars from American roads, effective for model year. It says cars. It says
Okay.
cars. I mean, obviously, why would you import Chinese software and put it on your American car? That's bonkers.
Have you ever seen an American car? Open up a Chevy.
Fair. All right.
Or a Ford. There's
The
so
Bureau
much
of
Chinese
Industry
stuff
and
in there.
Security stated that connected vehicle technologies from China and Russia pose an undue risk to U.S. national security. The final rule will impact automakers with ties to China or Russia, prohibiting the sale of vehicles under 10,001 pounds. Wow, that's oddly specific. Why are they doing that? Do you have any idea about that?
If it's over 10,002 pounds, I think it probably has to go through a weigh station. It's going to be federal DOT type stuff. I would assume
Okay, so
that's
it's probably the limits of what they can just impose
what's a
arbitrarily.
consumer vehicle versus a professional vehicle.
The decision reflects rising concerns about the security risks associated with connected vehicles. Okay, so obviously we are now concerned that China and or Russia will take remote controls of our vehicles and drive us all into buildings and cause crashes and stuff. Is that what we're thinking? Or are we just concerned that they're tracking and they know where we're going?
Hey, I watched this really cool Anne Heche movie the other night. Have y'all seen? Oh, my bad. I'm changing the subject here.
Boom, crash into a building.
Crash into the wall.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't see my eye roll.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
I'm trying to
audibly
figure out
pull
what's going on with my
things now.
screen.
Eye roll. That's what you have.
Man. We got to get over this little scuffle with Russia. We need to be their friends, not their enemies. Don't you think? I think so. I don't know. Oh, but they invaded Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine.
I don't have a.
Russia isn't robbing us constantly.
Now, did you see that there were 8 generals from the Ukraine whose mansions burned down
Houses burned. No, wait a minute.
in California?
8 Ukrainian generals' mansions burned in California. So I have a couple of questions here.
Why?
That's the number
why?
one. Why do Ukrainian generals have a mansion? Why do Ukrainian generals own property in California? And why is it a mansion? I have several follow-up questions.
So now, did Russia do this fire?
Did you see the picture of the mansion in California that didn't burn down? Everything around it burned down. It didn't burn down.
I think it was. I think that was.
It had a blue roof.
Yeah, I think that was an AI
that
image.
This was a hoax. Yeah. I believe this is hoax. Forbes has said that satire or disinformation. Ukrainian generals lost homes in LA fires. Let's see. Come scroll down.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's what I heard.
Oh no, I can't. It may not be a hoax. I have no evidence one way or another.
And at this point, I trust TikTok more than I do Forbes and CNN.
That's true. All right.
It's funny. I keep seeing videos come up of like news stations and these news people trying to interview people, and these people telling them, absolutely not. No one believes you. Did you see where Andrew Tate is running for prime minister
of what? Romania? Doesn't he live in Romania?
Where is he running for prime minister of, Dave?
I have no idea.
I thought it was fake at first.
I don't know what the whole Andrew Tate thing
I don't
is.
like that guy, to be honest.
I don't know enough about him to form an opinion. All I know is what has been told to me. Told. That's the key word. All I know about Andrew Tate is what has been told to me. I have not went to look for myself. So I don't know anything about him other than I thought he was running for prime. I thought it was is Andrew Tate going to reinvent himself as a politician? Let's look. Here's the Guardian. Let me share this.
I'm installing a bunch of updates to see if I can get my camera working.
Hang on.
just recently.
The latest would-be Politico is Andrew Tate, the British-American self-styled misogynist and influencer who was humiliated by Greta Thunberg. Okay, so this first sentence tells me that I need to go somewhere else to learn about Andrew Tate, because this is already biased from the first sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
So the Guardian is biased. I'm not going to take any of this information.
Greta Thunberg has never humiliated anyone except herself.
He is suddenly very interested in becoming.
It might not be the Guardian. It might be this person. I feel...
Yeah, but if the Guardian look, unless we don't have editors anymore, if the Guardian allows an article to be published, then the Guardian carries all the message of it.
The very first sentence has 3 or 4 deliberate adjectives and adverbs to steer you in a direction that's completely gone for me. Completely gone. I'm looking on X right now and see if I can find this, because he had a big video. Yeah, here's the video. This thing was like 7 minutes long, and I listened to the whole thing, and he's basically like, wow, if he's serious, I think UK will probably vote for him. With all the crap going on in Great Britain and all this right now, with people getting arrested for memes and stuff, he's basically calling out all this crap.
Ladies and gentlemen of the United Kingdom, my name is Andrew Tate. I'm the leader of the BRUV Party, Britain Restoring Underlying Values, and I'm here to introduce myself to you as the only hope and chance for the once Great Britain to repair itself from the eternal decline we are unfortunately being subjected to.
So, I mean, you can go to X and watch that. It's about 7 minutes long. And I watched it just because I thought it was a joke at first, but I watched it, and after it was serious and whatnot, I'm like, wow, he's kind of hitting on some really hard subjects that if I was in Great Britain, I would be like, you know, and it's almost makes you think, is he riding on the coattails of kind of what's going on in America, you know? But then I kind of have a little bit of flashing back from Europe about 1920, you know, 1921. So it's kind of scary with all these new parties popping up declaring this is, you know. So I don't know. You'll have to look into it a little more. I saw that like 4 or 5 days ago.
There are no serious news outlets carrying.
Yeah, probably not. But wouldn't you? I mean, but if you think about it from, do you think they're going to? You think they would? Well,
somebody would carry, like, if it was in any way legit, somebody would be carrying. Look at this.
No.
Andrew Tate's official address as wannabe UK Prime Minister got a resounding vote of no confidence. 15 favorite takedowns. The only place.
Well, I don't know anything about that. All I know is that the news outlets wouldn't report that kind of stuff because they're all controlled by 1 to 2 people, even in the UK and stuff. All over the world.
This is why you use ground news, because ground news aggregates news stories from all places, and
and it tells you if it's biased or not.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, the fact that there's one thing here, this is, you know, there's nothing to this. So
okay.
Let's see.
I know I saw that over the weekend. I watched that video, and I mean, like I said, he's
recent stories.
He's kind of hard hitting in some of those things that he says. So if this is just like let me throw a stone into the water and see how the ripples come out before I actually jump in type of thing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to dip your toe in the water and see how deep it is.
But a lot of times, he may actually have started a political party, but a lot of times the point of those things is to raise awareness of issues or whatever and put some kind of pressure on the existing parties where people, but I mean, like, he doesn't have, he thinks he has perhaps more clout than he does in
I don't think people realize that. That's with a lot of politics, is a lot of this stuff that people get, that the public gets so butthurt about and riled up. A lot of this stuff is just posturing, and it is, I'm moving my knight over here to get you to react. I want you to react to that. And that's all that they're doing. And you're right. That may be all this is. But I think, honestly, this may be, I want to throw this pebble in the water to see if I'm fixing to get eaten by the octopus monster.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like him. I've seen him talk on, 2 minute.
I don't know anything about it,
whatever.
other than he had some charges and.
Apparently, some years ago, he made his money pimping girls on an slut website or something like that, and then like said that he stopped, but really he kept going. He's still, that's still a source of revenue for him. And then he kind of invented himself as some sort of a YouTube bro culture dude, and then he was arrested by, I think, Romanian officials, and
it said something.
Whatever. That's not my guy. I don't like that guy.
Okay.
He's super macho guy.
Yeah, I don't like
I think he's a con artist or a fake, whatever. Do you remember the name Stacey Abrams?
Yes.
Yeah.
The according to her, rightful governor of Georgia, I believe, although she lost the election. A nonprofit started by Stacey Abrams. You're not going to believe this, guys. Has been ordered to. Stacey Abrams has been ordered to pay $300,000, the largest fine for violating Georgia campaign finance laws ever.
Ooh.
Can't believe this. I am shocked that a Democratic candidate for governor would be afoul of the law in such a way. I cannot believe this. She was founded. A nonprofit founded by Stacey Abrams agreed on Wednesday to pay a $300,000 fine for violating campaign finance law. The Georgia Ethics Commission voted unanimously to impose the fine after it found that the nonprofit New Georgia Project and the related New Georgia Project Action Fund did not disclose its campaign contributions to Abrams' candidacy for governor in 2018, despite advocating for her. So she's gonna have to pay up some money. Is Stacey Abrams finally out of political culture in Georgia, or is she coming back? Is she gonna come back around again? You think? No thoughts on that.
No thoughts.
Best of luck to you, Stacey.
Who?
Maybe she should. Maybe she should start a TikTok account or something. Raise some money.
Have y'all watched any of the Pete Hegseth crap that's been going on?
You're gonna bring up Pam Bondi, aren't you?
No, I was just bringing it up just to see if y'all had been watching any of it, because every single clip and stuff that I watch, he's like, "Wow, did he just lay the smack down?"
Oh no, I didn't see this. I mean, I saw a super clip of a bunch of women. Senators, and Pete Hegseth just kind of like sitting there, like, really?
Yeah,
it's nattering. A bunch of.
I mean, he straight up. I mean, you just go and look for some clips on Pete.
Yeah. You got one?
Let me see here. How long is this one right here?
I accidentally closed my browser.
Okay, here we go. Never again. My mouse is acting crazy this morning. So this is Senator Joni Ernst. Joni. So
Republican from Iowa. Okay.
As Secretary of Defense, will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Senator, first of all, thank you for your service, as we discussed extensively as well.
It's my privilege.
And my answer is yes, exactly the way that you caveated it. Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high, and we'll have a review to ensure the standards have not been eroded in any one of these cases. That'll be part of one of the first things we do at the Pentagon, is reviewing that in a gender neutral way, the standards, ensuring readiness and meritocracy is front and center. But absolutely, it would be the privilege of a lifetime to, if confirmed, to be the Secretary of Defense for all men and women in uniform who fight heroic. They have so many other options. They decide to put their right hand up for our country, and it would be an honor to have a chance to lead them.
So what he's talking about in this particular clip was there's been a lot of talk here lately on that, and I've seen posts from individuals that have served that have talked about this, and they're like, no disrespect to women. This one guy was like, I'm 6'5". I weigh 280 pounds with my
Oh, yeah,
pack. With his pack on, he was like, I weigh 240 pounds. My pack, I weigh 300 pounds. How can this 120-pound woman pull me out? He was like, and they were talking, this combat medic was talking about the girl that I served with could not move me an inch. She could not pull my dead weight an inch.
2 separate videos yesterday of female veterans, and they were saying women should not be in combat roles because for a variety of reasons, one of which is, look, honestly, even the peak female athletes would struggle to pull a man.
In other words, you're quite.
Is that coming out on you?
Yeah, we can hear her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Awful,
my bad.
horrible voice.
That's racist because she's Native American, and that's racist. Listen, I want you to hear what I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt y'all. I forgot that I was sharing that. I was trying to get this to pull up. This is Elizabeth Warren. This is his mic drop with her.
In other words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals.
Sorry, I'll stop sharing this time.
Hold on. Let me share. This is
I'm starting to like this guy.
it can take a lot of time to watch a lot of those different pieces of the confirmation, but you can actually do it a little faster because it all pretty much sounds like that.
Dancing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line. Veterans organizations will help our veterans.
I don't like that.
Now, guys, you're both married.
I'm not married.
Have you ever been? Okay, you're not married.
I should.
Have you ever been in a situation similar to that? You really should be.
Yeah.
No, I've never been in a situation similar to that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
He said, "No, I've never been in that situation."
Now, I will say, I'm totally okay with there being men and women in combat roles. I'm okay with there being trans in combat roles and whatever else. But I think a standard has to be established, and this is the standard. And as long as you can hit that, I don't care.
If you listen to his opening remarks, he says that.
Yeah.
He talks about how he's been in all this combat, how he's done this, how he's been in all these different combat situations, IEDs and pulling bodies and doing this and getting shot at and blah, blah, blah. He goes through all of that. And he was like, I've served with Democrats, Republicans, gay, trans.
Right.
When you're there, that doesn't matter.
And I want to add, when I say there has to be a standard, I'm not just talking about you can hit this or you can pull this amount of weight. There has to be a mental standard as well. If you can't pass these mental checkpoints,
that's obviously we shouldn't have like weak-minded people in. The problem is that they will say high standards, and at the same time they will say, and we should have equal representation. And the reality is that it's not 50% men, 50% women that can meet these high standards. If you set the standards high, unfortunately, it's 95% men and maybe 5% women that can meet those standards.
If I were to go and apply for the Kentucky Police Academy, if my department were to send me off, I have a different standard than someone who's younger than I am. I don't like that.
Well, sure.
Like
that scales.
Because you're older?
When you get older, you get weaker.
Yeah, true. So if I can't do the job, then I shouldn't do the job. Now, I know that some of our alphabet organizations, they have a standard, period. And that standard is if you don't do it. Now, once you pass the initial standard, then there's an age for prolonged longevity. But even then, I mean, like in the situation like the medic was describing, 300 pounds with his gear on. if I can't pull a 300-pound man in his gear out of a situation,
You don't need to be
then
there.
I don't need to be in that
You don't need to be
situation
there.
because I'm a hindrance to him. No matter how good a shot I am, no matter how good a medic I am,
You're a
I need to get
liability.
him out.
You're both going to get
Yeah.
shot instead of
Every
getting behind cover.
person, and in my opinion, every person should be able to rescue or whatnot the largest person. You know,
Yeah.
if you can get the largest person, you get everybody.
And I think there might be a cap. There needs to be a cap on, dude, you're too big. Sorry.
I really
We're
agree
gonna
with.
get you
I
caught.
completely agree with that. I agree with the mental thing because we got into in this country. We got into just letting anybody in. You know, we just needed a warm body.
Full Metal Jacket is a great example of that.
So
Yes.
here are the age brackets for the Army National Guard for males and females. So if you're talking, let's say, it looks like MDL, which is it looks like it's a picture of lifting here, lifting deadlift. It looks like, yeah, deadlift. Let's say 25-year-old man to get a 100% score would need to deadlift 340 pounds. A female to get a 100% score, 230 pounds. That is 110 pounds less. And it only gets farther apart as you go down, as you get older. A 40-year-old man is still expected to lift 340 pounds. A 45-year-old man still expected to lift 340 pounds. And women get weaker in the 37 to 41 category. That is
Most of
the weight you would be
Not all.
pulling if you are pulling somebody to cover. So there are different standards for men and women. And if you're saying, oh, we need to have a gender neutral standard and you want to have excellent troops, then you would need to probably scrub the female category and just say soldiers are expected to lift 340
There needs to be a
pounds.
soldier category because that's ultimately what you are. You're a soldier.
Right. Yeah. And how many women are going to be able to lift 340 pounds? Let me tell you, that's a very, very small number. Very small. What about distance running? Distance running.
I'm trying to find that sheet, by the way, and I'm having a hard time finding it.
A male at 25 years old is expected to run, I believe, a 2-mile run, 13 minutes and 31 seconds. A female gets 15 minutes. They get 2.5 extra minutes. No, is that right? 1.5 extra minute to run the same distance. They can't keep up running at maximum speed. I'm sorry. So, I mean, like he's saying gender neutral and high standards. Well, the consequence of that is that there's going to be fewer females in combat roles, and the honest conversation is whether or not that needs to be the case. Do we have a more effective, more lethal fighting force if we have high gender neutral standards, and the consequence of that is that there's less females in combat roles?
So I'm looking at what my my stats would be, and dude, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I don't want to look at that. I do not meet the standards.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm getting smoked, man.
All right, guys, we're at the end of the hour.
I will say, I'll share this real quick. Earlier this year, our high school football team was actually doing pretty decent, and I was talking to the JRCT commander, and our kids are good friends, and they scored a touchdown, and he didn't go over and do push-ups with JRCT, and so I ripped him hard about that, and I said, I'll tell you what, next time I'll go. Not that I didn't think we were going to score another touchdown. We did. And he didn't go. I'm like, are we going or not? So we huffed it down there and we did our push-ups. Those are probably the best 10 perfect form push-ups I've ever done in my life, because here I am in front of everybody and I've got the commander right next to me. I got to make sure I do it all right. But yeah.
You don't want to be embarrassed.
No,
or
I'm
called
no,
out.
it's got to be right.
I know what you mean by like that. There was a time when Alex was younger and when they were talking about push-ups and he wasn't doing the push-ups correctly. And Ashley was in the Army. So she was sitting there making dinner and she was talking to him and telling him, keep your butt down, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, let me show you. And I got down on the floor, and my entire fat ass life, I've never been able to do a push-up, but since I lost all the weight and stuff, I got down in the floor and I kept my body straight. I kept my butt straight, and I did the perfect couple of push-ups I've ever done in my life. And I felt like I was like, yeah. The first time my kids was like, that's how you do a push-up, son, right there. That's how you do it.
Just do what I did, but did it like 30 times more.
Do that 30 more times. I just do it twice. There was a time when Deacon and Alex and I were in the yard playing and something, and they took off running, and I took off running just as fast and hard as I could if I've ever ran in my life. And I beat them all the way to the house. And I remember Alex or Deacon, I don't remember which one, was like, oh, I didn't know you could run that fast. And I was like, yeah, you need to watch out for your old man. And then I walked in there to the house to Ashley, and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die. And I hurt for 2 days. I hurt for 2 days. Please, it's like, please don't tell them that I'm hurting so bad.
I have a story for you after the show's over.
All right, joke time. Here we go. Did you ever hear about the octopus that held up a convenience store, guys?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
It was armed robbery.
No, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Oh, that was.
So Julie and I went out the other day to a restaurant, seafood. She doesn't really like seafood, and I'm like, I'm getting lobster. And it's one of those restaurants where they let you pick your lobster. So I went over and I'm looking, and this one lobster was blushing. I've never seen a lobster blush before. I'm like, dude, why are you blushing? And the lobster said, I saw the ocean's bottom.
I'm going to try again. Two fish are in a tank. Two fish are in a tank. One of them says to the other, any idea how to drive this thing?
That's a good one. That's always one of my favorites. I don't have a fish joke. Unfortunately, this behind me is just a green screen. I left my job yesterday.
Oh, no.
I couldn't work there after what they said to me. I just couldn't do it.
What'd they say?
They said you're fired.
It's good.
All right.
Good. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. We will be back tomorrow. You can't stop us. It's happening no matter what.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Essay for a comment, he said no. Watch now, the internet dad show. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Inspire with us tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
4 days. 4 days left.
I don't have the end stream button.